What's up? Well, this CNN panel got together and their conclusion was that, she's basically crazy. Now, this is CNN. Okay, remember who we're talking about here. And I realize that one of the guys on the panel there is a little bit more to the right than the rest of them, but they agree with him. They agree. So Scott Jennings is like, whoa, like this is not the time to play politics, girl. Is she crazy?
I mean, she's attacking the governor of a state that's about to get lashed with one of the most historic hurricanes we've ever seen. Is she crazy? He did not ignore her call.
She was talking, just to be clear, she was talking broadly about the politicization of the storms.
I think she was talking about Ron DeSantis. He did not ignore her call. And in fact, according to what I've read tonight, he actually spoke to the president of the United States.
He did speak with President Biden.
And he has said time and again that he and the federal government are working well together. So who here is politicizing this?
Yeah, I hate to agree with Scott on anything, but I agree. I agree in this case.
I actually agree with you that
he agrees with him. In other words, why would she be politicizing this now? Because the woman is absolutely desperate, and it speaks volumes. I don't think she cares about anyone. She's going on about how Trump is so selfish. Trump is this, that, and the other. Look, I know the man. I've known him a long time. I first interviewed him, all the way back. I was at CBS News at the time. I mean, you're talking like 2004-ish. So that was a while ago, like 20 years ago. I've known him for a long time. And granted, he has his faults like anyone else, but he actually becomes kind of obsessive about helping at times. Like it's really, really, really important to him to make a difference and to help these people. And I got that sense right from the beginning, because where did he go immediately? You saw him down in Georgia. He talked about how he's getting together with Elon. They're trying to provide the Starlink. I mean, where's Kamala? Kamala's at the LA event trying to raise money, and you have Joe Biden out on the beach hanging out for the weekend. But it is crazy to me that she would take these political digs. It's crazy to the entire panel, not all of whom are right of center. Let's continue listening to their discussion.
there's too much disinformation, misinformation, or
Gosh, I hate those words, but we'll go on.
things that are not factual swirling about the hurricane. I actually think the facts are bad enough. When the storm came ashore, Biden was at the beach and Harris was raising money. And that was on September 26th. On September 27th, we had devastation in North Carolina. It wasn't until October the 2nd that the president mobilized the military, and it wasn't until the 5th that they mobilized 500 search and rescue out of the military. So I think there's two things going on. The immediate impacted people and what they need and what they can get. People need to consult their local officials and governors about that. But there is a conversation to be had here about spending priorities, yes, and also about presidential decision-making, which in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of Republicans, were really, really slow.
I think you're totally right about spending priorities. That's a big conversation.
Spending priorities, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Big piece in the New York Post recently about how FEMA was looking to prioritize the LBTG. Oh, there I go. Okay. And a whole lot of other letters. It was like the longest version of this that I had ever seen. But their point was that they needed to get to all of these people for disaster relief before the disaster hit. So they were like, we don't want to wait until the hurricane. We want to get into the transgender community, et cetera, so that we can help provide. And I'm like, I mean, this is amazing. They had actually, I was watching on Twitter, the video call between FEMA and all these activists, because DEI, of course, is, all the rage, all the rage. It's actually one of the reasons why we started 76 Research. For those of you that are not familiar with 76 Research, it is the financial research company that I started with a dear friend, Rob Horton, who's been a brilliant stock picker for many, many, many years on Wall Street. And what I love about this is that, well, one, we get to pick what we want without the sort of biases of a news division or anything else coming into play. And two, we're quite right with what we pick. Take a look here. I want to show you the model portfolio performance. These numbers were just crunched. This is for the quarter ending 9/30/2024. And you can see here are the top holdings here. We just had a stellar quarter, and this comes on the heels of also some really, really, really good numbers. S&P 500 index in that time was up 5.9%. Our median stock was up almost 11%. Okay, so just to put this in perspective, guys, it was one of the reasons we started this. I mean, my friend Rob, like I said, it run billions of dollars on Wall Street, was like, this is crazy. Like, we're in such an environment where I'm running an energy fund, and yet I can't invest in this particular energy because, oh, it's not DEI, ESG friendly enough. Well, what happens when the whole world is so consumed with that as opposed to actual performance, right? When you actually need these companies to make money, that's what matters. And so we started 76 Research a bit in response to that. I mean, I've certainly felt in the financial media that there is a bias that's very much on the news curve, but not ahead of the news curve. Now, what do you need to be as an investor? What do you need as investors? You need to be ahead of the news curve, because you can't just be on it, right? Like, I get it. For ratings, you want to be on it. But as an investor, you need to be ahead of it. So this is partly why we started 76 Research, because I wanted to bring to everyone this opportunity. I mean, I'm pretty good at this. I've followed this for quite a long time and have a very good feel for the macro environment. Rob's a heck of a stock picker. So this is why we teamed up to start 76 Research. You can get 76 Research today. You can get all the model portfolios. It's the best value if you get what's called Founders Club on 76 Research. So go click on model portfolios, go click on Founders Club, or just type in code word dollar, DOLLAR, and you can get the 76 report. That's the basic entry product. It doesn't have as many picks, but there's a few in there, guys. There's a few in there. So we try and help you out that way. But it's like $1 a month for the first 2 months, and it goes to $9.95, and you can cancel anytime. So, no harm, no foul. Use code word dollar though, if you're interested in doing that. So again, that's 76 Research. But I look at this craziness. We've seen all the DEI efforts before. I mean, Kamala was interviewed a few years back. I've played the sound for you. Just last week, we were talking about this, about how we needed to prioritize certain groups in disaster relief. I mean, I do believe that that's unconstitutional. I don't actually think you could do it, but it's not going to stop her, right? I mean, hey, look at student loans. We want to forgive and wipe out all student loans. Forget about whether or not it's actually in sync with the Constitution.